Strange few years for Kenin since becoming the Aussie Open champion in 2020. Ranking dropped to 415 in the fall of 2022. Finished that year ranked outside the world's top 200. But she's made slow and steady progress since, and nice to see her ranked back inside the world's top 50 now.
Yeah, she missed the second half of 2021, had a couple of injuries, and then 2022 was a difficult year. Some more injuries, missed the middle of it. Also struggled a bit off court and trying to solidify her team, stopped working with her father for a bit, then eventually they would get back together.
That's nice footwork. We all know it's very, very difficult to be both parent and coach in any relationship. But that must have been difficult after all the success that they'd enjoyed in 2020. Ranked 4 in the world in March of that year. To then have to be suddenly playing without him courtside, without him by your side. It must have been very, very painful for him too. Nice to see them back together now. As far as their overall win-loss records are concerned, Kenin's got a pretty decent one this year, 14-8 coming into this match, her 9th event, her first on this surface, but she's had some good wins, being Jasmine Paolini, Donna Vekic, Marta Kostyuk, Ashlyn Kruger, Veronika Kudermetova, and Belinda Bencic in the previous round here. A couple of quarterfinals to boast of in Hobart and Dubai. So it's had a pretty solid season so far. Bencic was champion here, incidentally, back in 2022, beat Anjouba in that final, and has played very well following getting her hands on the trophy, runner-up in 2023. So she knows how to play on this surface, and she was put to the sword by Kenin. Love and 3.
Advantage.
Kasatkina, she had a bye. Seeded number 5. Kenin unseeded, of course, so has had to play the extra match. And Kasatkina beat Lauren Davis, the wild card from the United States, so fairly comfortably 1-1. That's always one of her favourite shots. Shannon, it works exceptionally well on the club.
Yeah, it really does. It's been impressive, though. You mentioned the start of the season for Sofia Kenin, and you know, she's done the hard work. She looks more settled, she looks happier on court, and more clarity comes with all of that.
Lost on one line. Backhand has always been a truly world-class shot. She's got the variation off that wing as well, but when she starts to use the forehand up the line too, then that's real danger time for opponents.
Game.
Nice variation on serve there. To work hard, but gets the hold in the end. I referenced the fact that this is a 7th. For Kasatkina, it's a 10-8 her overall win-loss record. So you're thinking for somebody ranked 12 in the world off the back of all that she was able to achieve last year, where she got 40 match wins, won a couple of titles in Eastbourne on the grass, Ningbo towards the tail end of the year, beating Andreeva in that final on the hard courts, 4 further finals that year, and finished ranked number 9 in the world. So again, she'd be looking for better numbers than that at the start of the year. 1 quarterfinal initially in Adelaide, lost to Maddie Keys there. No surprise in that result, given how well Maddie was playing. Reached the 4th round, the Aussie Open. Lost a little bit of a heartbreaker to Emma Navarro, 7-5 in the 3rd. That one, she plays a lot of 3-set matches.
40 love.
Yeah, because Kasatkina had beginning of the season feels a bit like a dip for her, even though she still maintained a solid record. Beat a lot of the players she was supposed to beat, but tough losses thrown in.
Game.
She is one of those that very much looks forward to the clay court swing. Semi-finalist at Roland Garros back in 2022. That's her deepest run at a major. Lost to Swiatek there in straight sets. So no surprises really that she's the favorite coming into this one as far as the live odds are concerned from our friends at BetMGM. Minus 160. Got to put 160 on to get 100 back. It's not much in it.
50 love.
Big week for Kasatkina in more ways than one. She's spoken very openly about wanting to represent Australia. She's been trying to do so over the course of the last couple of years, and she said, honestly, this week it feels very, very different. Very emotional to have finally got the paperwork done and being accepted. Said very much looking forward to this new chapter in her life. It's been a very difficult couple of years for her, Jen.
Yeah, and you know, she's talked about how she was against the war and all the conversations at times putting her life at risk, kind of talking against it, and also talked about the relationship she has with her partner. She didn't feel safe times walking the streets there, and just did not feel as if she wanted that to be her home anymore. It's been difficult through so many of these events. Jason really goes beyond the tennis court.
Been living in Dubai for the last couple of years. So hasn't been back to Russia in the last sort of 2.5 years, really. So something had to give in the end, and she did put in her papers to try and become an Australian citizen, and finally that paperwork came through positively tail end of last week. So she's now the Aussie #1. It's always nice. Get a nice, wonderful reception down there in Melbourne when she returns to Australia at the start of next season. It's always very popular, very funny character. If you haven't got across her vlog, it's worth doing. So very humorous, life on the tour, her perspective. Plays a wonderful style of tennis, so very, very different to many of the best players in the world. She doesn't have the height at 5'7" to generate the kind of pace that most of her peers do. But she plays with great nous and has a wonderful feel for the full dimensions of the court, particularly a clay court. So stylish and gliding around it. But funnily enough, when you look at her stature and the style of tennis, it's incredible. She's had a lot of success on a lot of different surfaces over the years.
Well, Jason, you don't need height to generate pace.
No, she's talking off the serve primarily.
I saw you glance at me when you said she doesn't have the stature. I felt something.
She can't serve off one of those boxes you used in our opener today, Chandler.
I was actually glad to stand on that. I felt big.
Kenan's the same height, 5'7". So he's serving with a different purpose compared to somebody like a Sabalenka or Ashlyn Kruger. You've got the height, got the long levers, so you've got to be an intelligent server, set up the point with that shot.
mean, if you think of Kasatkina's game and any one real weakness, it is her serve. I mean, she often uses it as a point starter. The second serve is very hittable, but sometimes it's so slow, it's difficult to hit out on it. And she plays so well behind her serve. Jason, is if you look at some of her numbers, Kasatkina, in terms of return games won, she's like top 5 on the list, playing well above her ranking in that department.
Having this conversation the other day, watching Kasatkina beat Lauren Davis with Tracy Austin. And she brought up Diego Schwartzman, said very similar scenario, couldn't serve big, but what a returner. We said goodbye to Diego earlier this year in Buenos Aires. Waved him a fond farewell, but he excelled when returning, always had sort of top 5 numbers season upon season, but obviously given his height he did struggle to serve as big as some of his peers.
Tongue-in-cheek, but that's the area where the stature makes a difference in terms of serving. And you can still hit big from the ground, depends on your style, but the serve becomes a little more difficult to get those free points, to serve as big. You've got to make adjustments. Oh, that caught.
Yes.
And that's Kenin at her very best. That's a combination she dearly loves to use. It's very, very difficult as an opponent to read that shot. Lovely disguise on it. Oh, that's stunning. That's how you turn defense into attack.
Advantage, Kasatkina.
Kasatkina is a deceptively good mover. It's part speed, it's part anticipation. And how did she win that point?
Oh, that's a shame. She'd set the points up beautifully.
Kasatkina.
You can understand the frustration. She played some good. Those
15
maybe just started to become a fan of tennis. Chanda, how close is Kenin to playing the type of tennis she was back in 2020 when she became a major winner for the first time?
You see flashes, you see bits of it at times. And she's a lot closer with how she ended last season and certainly the start of this season. And, you know, really it can change from one week to the next. And that is the beauty of this sport. Just never know when that next big breakthrough is going to be right around the corner. But she had that big week you mentioned in Dubai, Jason. The quarterfinals, beat 3 players, top 21 in the world, including that top 10 win against Paolini. Just lost a tight one to Rybakina there. It seemed like she was very close that week.
That's a lovely return. What was she doing
40,
better
15.
in 2020 than she is now?
Well, when you see how she can develop a point and the accuracy, her ability to hit down the line, change direction, that is devastating and difficult to defend against. And she was doing it point in and point out. She goes a little bit up and down more now. A beautiful drop shot as well. That is a world-class shot, and the disguise she gets on it is second to none. But it's putting those points together over and over again. I mean, there was some concern when she lost that 6-love match to Goff in Miami, and she was able to come back here and get first round under her belt. And so that allows you to kind of forget about a match like that. Maybe it's an aberration, but it's those kinds of matches that are a bit of the surprise now.
Deuce.
Because the game moves on very quickly, and you think, oh, 2020 was a couple of years ago. Well, 5 years is a long time in any sport. And when you've had that kind of success very early on in your career, she was sort of 20, 21 years of age at the time, it can be frustrating if you can't replicate that on a regular basis. Of watching Kenin play in those days, and one was how feisty she was, which was great, but it was so difficult to win a point against her, wasn't it?
It was. And you know, everybody though gets better. When you talk about 5 years past, it's amazing that it's been that long. It seems like it was just yesterday, but the game moves on. Your opponents get better, and you've got to keep making these little improvements. Even if she was the same, still wouldn't be as good.
That's a lovely feel again, and this is kind of like a throwback playing against Kasatkina, but
her game played a good bit alongside Bethany Maddox-Sands, and she was able to play with some joy.
Anything would have been joyful off the back of playing with Andrea Petkovic, wouldn't it?
I would have loved it. I would have loved that.
I'm kidding, Andrea. You know it. One thing's for sure, you've got to be ready for anything with Bethany. That's for sure. Love watching her play too. Still playing here this week. I think they went down earlier today to Dollarhide and Kravchuk, playing with Lucy Safarova, former major champions, those two. Nice to see Lucy back on the match court as well.
That's not a backhand you will normally see Kenin miss, but she was trying to get a little more angle on it and just swung down on it a little too much.
There's another one. It's so accurate when going up the line. It's so difficult to defend against. Great little dig from Kasatkina there.
40-30.
Nothing wrong with the tactic of surging forwards there, because she will have felt she would have put Kasatkina under a lot of pressure. Kasatkina just making a little bit of a nuisance of herself in this game now. Never easy for Dad.
Please.
Nice little injection of pace there.
Just when you think you have the rhythm down, the rhythm of the shots from Kasatkina, she adds some MPHs. Does not go away at the end of these return games, and she's got another opportunity.
How smart is that?
It's just nasty, though. I mean, it's almost the same look as her topspin backhand, the way she takes her racket head back. She just carves under it. A little bit of magic in changing her grip and the racket face just enough.
Wait, please. Advantage, Kenin.
She stayed home there, had a chance with the pass. Kenin gets it done in the end. Oh, it's another one. A wonderful strike there.
15-love.
She's been under pressure constantly, Kasatkina, and just trying to go a little bit bigger than she's used to doing off that forehand side, especially from the middle of the court.
Thirty 15.
Yeah, she's got to push a little bit more, Kasatkina, now. She's seen how well Kenin has come out playing. Kenin with 14 winners already, more than twice as many as Kasatkina, and similar in the unforced error department.
Game.
Nice variation on serve there, moving the ball around both service boxes with considerable aplomb.
Kenin leads by 5 games to 3.
Always important just to ask the question, force your opponent to attempt to serve it out.
And she's an intelligent player out there, Kasatkina. I mean, she's playing the odds, she's putting things into the computer, making minor adjustments. We'll see if she does anything a little different here in this return game.
And if she can keep dominating from the back of the court. Very little to choose between the two in terms of errors, but many more winners for Kenin. Can she play as aggressively in this game when it matters most without making the mistakes? It's a perfect start.
50 love.
It's a little cheap.
A little bit of a strange return from Kasatkina, trying to change the tempo, but just lost the control.
Love.
16 of 20 points when that first serve's gone in this set. Really good numbers. And what a way to finish it.
Game effort.
That's another really intelligent and well-constructed point.
Love 15.
And she's playing with real clarity, Kenin, and not overplaying. I mean, she gave herself a lot of margin there, got her feet going and in position, so she had options, and it has kept Kasatkina guessing a few more times here.
Love 30.
Hitting aggressively, but to nice, safe targets. Perfect example of that in the opening couple of points in this game. Kasatkina is struggling a little bit to live with Kenin from the back of the court. Don't say that too often.
Love 40.
It's been the one saving grace really for Kasatkina. That backhand cross score when she's flattened the ball out. that rhythm.
I think that's the key, is how can she disrupt the rhythm. She's got to maybe play a few more slices. She's trying to go, at times, too much topspin and too much of the big shots, and she's not winning a lot of those rallies.
Net.
Question for Kasatkina is how can she open up the court a little bit more? So maybe playing shorter with some angles, not necessarily the drop shot, but you know, then throw something in a little higher to mix it up.
Because it's a little easier for Kenin, even though she missed that one, to go long line if she's inside the single sideline, isn't it? If you force her wide of that, that suddenly becomes a much riskier strategy and not so readily available.
And the good part for Kasatkina is she's had her fair share of chances to break serve, so she's got to feel like she is still in this at any given time, even if she's down a break. She's got immediate break back points.
Oh. 15-40. .40.
Not that time.
Game Kasatkina.
Kasatkina gets the break and draws level at 1 apiece. Has always enjoyed her time here in Charleston, Chanda.
Yeah, five times she's gotten to the quarterfinals or better, including being champion here in 2017. These clay courts suit her game, suit her style, and it's taken usually some big hitters to beat her.
Lost in the final to Danielle Collins. Speaking of big hitters, this time last year, Collins on that incredible roll, back-to-back wins in Miami and here in Charleston. Danielle's still going strong this year, incidentally. Had a good win over Elena Ostapenko earlier today, 5-3. Oh, it's a lovely return. Just stepping back momentarily, Chanda, looking at the big picture. Who's caught your eye this week? The Americans are having a good week so far.
I mean, Anna Samova has looked good, and it's just nice to see her back, enjoying her tennis, and she's got so much upside, and I still think that she hasn't quite reached her peak yet, so that's good signs.
Oh, that's stunning. Shades of Anisimova there.
Love 40.
She is so dangerous returning, Kenin, and when she gets on the front foot, again, you just can't read it.
Game Kenin.
What a game. And what a response off the back of playing it. Again, absolutely stunning pinpoint accuracy from the back of the court on both wings.
15-11.
She's got these long strokes that really addresses the ball beautifully, keeps it on her strings a long time, particularly on the backhand side, and it's why she can get that kind of depth and accuracy consistently.
She's playing well enough this evening that when she misses one like that, it is a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, sometimes she comes off the forehand a little more quickly, and that's the only difference. Kasatkina can't afford that kind of miss. It was the right idea, just didn't give herself quite enough air.
Again, didn't miss by much, but she's allowing Kasatkina to hang around in this game, which is always dangerous. Excellent response there. Only a second ace of the match, perfectly timed. Now with some lovely anticipation from Kasatkina. That time she anticipated the one up the line and was ready and waiting.
A masterful point from Kasatkina, and she was somewhat defensive most of it until the end, but she held her position just long enough, and like you said, Jason, the anticipation was spot on.
That's a ball miss.
Advantage, Kenin. Game, Kenin.
Enforced errors continue to mount for Kasatkina.
Kenin leads by 3 games to 1.
By a set and a break now, 3-1 here in a second.
Yeah, we still haven't seen Kasatkina try to mix it up enough, and even the slice, going to the low slice. I mean, Kenin handles those shots still pretty well, but it'd be interesting to see if Kasatkina was able to break up the rhythm even slightly. She tried it there.
Love 15.
Kenin still with the answers.
Nothing wrong with that.
15-all.
Did a couple of beautiful backhands cross court when she's flattened that shot out. So one of the first we've seen this evening up the line.
(30-15).
A little higher shot, more trajectory, and Kenin had to wait on it ever so slightly.
(40-15).
Get the distinct impression that one break won't be enough here in a second set, so has to keep going in search of the added insurance of a double break. Oh, nicely done.
Game
It's a really
Kasatkina.
smart rally there, an excellent hold, and oh, nicely done. See that shot so well. And you're so spot on, Chandra. It's the disguise as well as the execution, isn't it?
You can't tell that it's coming, and for a player who uses her anticipation so much, it is causing Kasatkina some special problems tonight. I just made up a word there.
15-all.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's been especially difficult. That's what I meant to say.
(30-15).
I also think, Jason, that the conditions matter, and it's been pretty quick. Weather's been dry. We haven't had a lot of rain. These courts play a little more slippery, and conditions do get a little quicker. It kind of suits Kenin's game a little bit more.
(30-all).
She's played a good match so far. Doesn't need to be showing any signs of frustration. If you'd given her this lead in the locker room prior to the start of the match, you would have bitten your hand off. So good.
40-30.
It's been the constant pace and the ability to hit side to side, corner to corner from that central attackable zone that's done so much damage this evening.
Game
There's
Kenin.
3 further shots right up the middle of the court from Kasatkina, missing the third, but I'm
Kenin
with you
leads
all the
by
way,
4
Chandra, in terms of
games to
needing
2.
to create more width to put Kenin under a little more pressure.
Yeah, because she's feeling it, Kasatkina. When Kenin has a ball she can set up on, she is nearly perfect. And For Kasatkina, you've played now a set and a half, a little more than a set and a half. You see the form that your opponent's in. Now you've got to make the shift. It's just one of those days, and you got to see if you can find any kind of inroads here.
That's a lovely shot. 6-3, 4-2 sounds like it's a little one-sided. It's been anything but. Are you going to put all of your eggs in the one basket, hoping that Kenin falls apart with the finish line well inside? I think she's playing well enough not to do so this evening, so therefore the onus is on Kasatkina to do a little more. She did there with the forehand.
Daria.
She's had the odd problem with the high backhand.
(40-15).
Was a superb dig from Kasatkina there, but Kenin read it beautifully.
Fun rally with both players showcasing their feel, their usage of the entire court. The reply from Kasatkina. Kenin does her one better.
Game Kasatkina.
That's another nice positive start to this game for Kenin.
15-11.
Jason Gore alongside Chris Eubank's favourite commentator, Shanda Rubin. So Chris had a win earlier today. That was nice in Houston. Still give him grief about that.
(15-0).
That's so good. It's a slight turn
30-15
of the racket face for Kenin to redirect that ball down the line. Kasatkina trying to stay neutral, looking for forehands. Perfect opportunity for the down the line.
Out. 40-15.
Perfect there on the pass.
Yeah, it looked like Kenin didn't quite know what to do with that shorter ball. It took her by surprise, and right here didn't get up to it quickly enough to go down the line. At cross court, it left her line open. And this is what Kasatkina thrives on. Just a couple of poor choices from Kenin, and all of a sudden Kasatkina has a slight opening.
Advantage, Kenin.
Can't believe it. Normally so good in a situation like that, especially on the clay. Not making Kenin work hard enough.
Thank you. Please.
Real let off.
Please.
So that would have increased the heart rate somewhat at deuce, but nice comfortable hold thereafter. Game away from victory now.
5 games to 3.
Those are a couple of surprising misses from Kasatkina. First balls that you just normally don't see off of her racket.
And this is where Kenin really needs to go to work. First couple of points in this game. Try desperately to get the match won with a break here.
15 love. Out. 30 love.
Chose not to go over in the end.
It thought about it.
Yep, a long time too, right? I like the fact that Kenin's getting nice and feisty again. Seen that for a while. She's got to get the balance right, though.
wow.
40-30.
Back to back. Serve misses from Kasatkina.
That was a better point. One of the few players that will run around the forehand, hit the backhand in the center of the court, and can do so with devastating effect.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this for anybody except Kenin, maybe Coco Gauff. Might be one or two others.
Nicely done. That's the best possible way to get back on track in this game for Kasatkina. Good penetration on the backhand down the line there. Urging herself on here. This is the game. Oh, that's nicely done. That was a tough shot.
Advantage, Kasatkina.
Yeah, she made it look a lot easier than it was to follow this ball from such a high point out of the air and still have a good sense of the court and to take it inside in with that kind of accuracy.
Game,
Got there
Kasatkina.
in the end after a little. Thought about taking it out of the air. There's one left in the end.
Beautifully played.
15 all.
Cool, calm. Made it look easy.
Oh, wait. It's no good looking at marks. What's she doing?
15-30.
TLC, they're not going to change that call.
Please,
Why would
ladies
you
and
do that
gentlemen, don't
in the middle
make
of the
any out call. We're going to confuse the players, please. Don't call it out, please.
Well, it's got nothing to do with somebody calling it out from the crowd. She was playing old school tennis there. She stopped the rally and wants the umpire to come and have a look at the mark. It's no good trying to roll the clock back. We've got electronic line calling system now. So a bit of a brain freeze there.
Thank you. Please.
Now, how does she respond here? What a mess after everything that happens on the previous points. How do you not make Kenin work harder to win that point there? And how confused and frustrated she must be. Oh, that's stunning from Kenin there. Absolutely stunning. The variation, the height on the forehand earlier in the rally, and then the pace on the final shot to bring her within 1 point of victory now. Couldn't resist.
She reached for that backhand ever so slightly, didn't quite get up to it. Slim margins here now.
And again, didn't quite commit to that shot either.
Well, you could see it. She was too far out in front of it, leaning forward instead of being beautifully on balance the way she has been most of this match.
It's a whole different ball game now.
5 games all.
Did well to hold her nerve there, but for Kenin, so much to have to deal with in the midst of that game. And always one of the toughest tasks in tennis, to reset off the back of having had match points in the previous game, especially when attempting to serve it out.
Thank you.
She's just gone off the boil ever so slightly, Kenin, and that's all it takes. It's what Kasatkina's been looking and waiting for. You can understand her frustration on a call that she thought was out, maybe clearly sought out with the mark, but she got to match point. She got past it, and it just seemed like mentally she was still there.
4-11.
Things can change. Unforced errors are plenty in that game. Stops the rod there. 7 consecutive points previously for Kasatkina.
15 all.
Just enough spin on it. Thought initially she hadn't selected the right club, gave it a little too much air. Nicely executed in the end.
And Kasatkina's so far back behind the baseline. Wasn't her best drop shot, but it was good enough.
Daria.
Kenin just not working quite as well with the legs now.
Criminal to miss there, given the circumstances. What a let-off.
Game, Kenin.
What a bonus for Kenin there.
6 games all tiebreak.
Does indeed hold. And the tiebreak will indeed
Both
settle
players
matters
are
till
now
end of the
receiving
second
one
set now.
additional video review.
There's a real lung buster of a rally there.
1-0. Kenin.
There's not a lot of players that lob with such intention as Sofia Kenin. She throws it up very high, but it's still very accurate, just barely in front of the baseline.
Kasatkina still huffing and puffing from the previous
Kenin.
point, so that was good stuff from Kenin.
Net. Second service.
It's brilliant. Really good footwork there, an excellent shot selection.
3-0. Kenin.
This is almost the same exact backhand that Kenin had on her match point. And this time she made the adjustment, got the legs into it, and stayed beautifully down and through it.
Invested so much in the tail end of this second set. Such a sluggish, frustrating start in this tiebreak for Kasatkina. This is a big point here.
4-1, Kenin.
Dad knows it. Shots. And Kenin's done such a good job of putting all that happened when she attempted to serve the match out in the 10th game of this second set, Chanda.
Yeah, I mean, she was right there, Kenin, and that ball she thought was long. She stopped the point, but it's electronic line calling. That point can't be reviewed. That shot can't be reviewed. So she still got to match point. But Kenin right there didn't quite get up to that backhand. Still maybe a little frustrated from that point she thought was out. But in the end, Jason, she was able to settle herself down enough at 6-5 or 5-6 serving to hold and get it to this tiebreak.
Kasatkina went on a 7-point winning streak at one stage. So Kenin has done a fabulous job here in this tiebreak. Right the ship and get back on track. Lady luck there, doused in the stars and stripes, not once but twice in that rally. Good effort from Kasatkina.
5-2, Kenin.
Yes, it's a good reset. I mean, that point was imperative to get at least one of the points on Kenin's serve.
Didn't miss by much.
5-3. Kenin.
Should do better just to focus on this next point. Wants to have a little look at that. It'll change the end results. Maybe just a few extra seconds. Nice little chisel there from Kasatkina. Job's not done yet.
Kenin.
It's been a very nervy affair, this second set, right from the off.
Kenin.
Here's Kenin with 2 more match points. It's deja vu all over again.
Kenin.
Same shot, same end results. That's 2 that have come and gone. Here's a 3rd. Can you believe it? Had the whole court open. Chose the wrong shot. Anticipated beautifully by Kasatkina. That's 3, Chanda, that have come and gone.
Well, this was smart thinking by Kasatkina, banking on the fact that Kenin would be a little tight, wasn't going to be willing to go down the line, and she stayed cross court and played it perfectly.
Penny for her thoughts now. That's 6 apiece. So good. Lockdown mode doing the job there for Kasatkina.
7-6. Kasatkina.
And amazingly, having worked so hard to fend off 3 match points, it's Kasatkina here with a chance to take us into a 3rd set. Oh, nicely done. Where was that when she needed it most? Better late than never. Oh, how about that?
8-7. Kenin.
Fourth match point here. Gets it done in the end. There were wobbles and there were wobbles, and that was certainly very much the latter at the tail end of that 2nd set, attempting to serve it out at 5-4, leading 5-1 in the tiebreak, squandering a 6-4 lead in the tiebreak to finally get it done. But the upshot of it all is that it's Sofia Kenin who moves through to the quarterfinals here.
This was a